You're watching NBC4, live from the area's leading news station. This is News 4 Today.
Students sprayed. The first doses of the swine flu being given out to Maryland children today. Well, this is a big day in the fight against the swine flu. Students in our area are on the front lines and at the head of the lines.
Today, kids in Montgomery and Prince George's counties will start getting the swine flu vaccine. News 4's Megan McGrath joins us live from Dodge Park Elementary School in Landover with more on what to expect today. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Barbara. Thousands of doses of the H1N1 vaccine have arrived in our area, and in Maryland, they will hold 2 vaccination clinics for people who are considered at high risk for swine flu. The first gets underway later on this morning around 8 o'clock here at Dodge Park Elementary School in Landover. The first doses of the H1N1 vaccine have arrived. And today, Maryland begins its vaccination program at Dodge Park Elementary School in Prince George's County. The students here will be among the first in the state to receive the nasal spray. Many parents are eager to have their children vaccinated.
I do have great concerns about the swine flu, and I'm intending to get my children vaccinated as soon as it's available.
Health officials expect vaccine shipments to increase greatly in the coming weeks. As doses arrive, they'll be made available to high-risk groups like children, healthcare workers, and pregnant women. 99% of flu cases reported are H1N1, so priority is being given to the production of the swine flu vaccine.
If they haven't gotten their seasonal flu vaccine, focus on getting the H1N1 now, because that's what the manufacturers are sending out.
Clinic is being held today in Maryland as well. That's going to be happening at the Dennis Avenue Health Center in Silver Spring. They are focusing on kids aged 2 to 13, as well as adult caretakers of infants up to the age of 49 years old, as well as healthcare workers. Everybody, though, must be healthy. You can't have any underlying problems in order to participate in that clinic. Something also to keep in mind is if you've had the flu mist, if your child has had the flu mist this year, there is a 28-day waiting period before you can actually get the nasal form of the swine flu vaccine. So I know that my child got the flu mist yesterday, so she'll have to wait 28 days before she can get the swine flu nasal spray vaccine. Now, in terms of other clinics being offered, we're going to hear more and more in the weeks to come. They're waiting for those doses to come in. They want to get them out there to the high-risk groups as quickly as possible. So we're expecting to hear a lot more in the coming days and weeks about additional clinics. Back to you, Barbara. Joe?
Thanks very much.
Thank you. And now that people in Maryland are getting the swine flu vaccine, D.C. and Virginia aren't far behind. Vaccine clinics will begin in the district in a week and a half, and in Fairfax County the weekend of October 24th. And we're answering your swine flu questions today in just a few minutes. At 6:15, a doctor will join us to give expert advice on everything from symptoms to vaccines. Email your swine flu questions to today@nbcwashington.com. You can also post them on Twitter and Facebook. Just search News 4 Today.
Plus, there is a doctor in the house answering all of your swine flu questions next. Stay with us. Good morning and welcome back. We're answering your swine flu questions this morning, and back with us is Dr. Thomas Gaiter, the medical director for Howard University Hospital. Great to have you back with us again. Thanks. And you can email your swine flu questions to today@nbcwashington.com, or you can post them on Facebook and Twitter. Just search News 4 Today when you get there. Now, here is a question from a viewer. This viewer writes in to say, I have a niece and nephew who are both under the age of 1. Should they get the swine flu vaccine, and if so, the shot or the nasal version?
If both are under the age of 1, they should receive the shot.
Okay, and they should get it.
They should get it.
Okay.
Unless they have some condition that warrants contraindication.
And the minimum age for an infant getting it would be how old?
6 months.
6 months, okay. Here's another question from a viewer. This viewer writes in, the CDC is recommending the live attenuated nasal mist for ages 2 years to 49 years old, but the potential side effects are the same as the swine flu itself, and there's a chance of being contagious when in close contact with other. The viewer continues, I have a 7-year-old and a 14-year-old. Are they better getting the H1N1 inactivated flu shot rather than the flu mist or for the swine flu?
One has to keep in mind that there are certain categories of individuals who should not receive the live attenuated virus, and that is the flu miss. And so if one fits in those categories, they should not, and they should receive the shot. Now that's an absolute. But on the other side, one has a choice. If there are no underlying conditions, they have a choice on which one to utilize.
So her children are 7 and 14. Doesn't matter for.
No, they fit in the category where they could either have both.
Okay, either could get. Okay. That viewer also had this question: can you get the standard seasonal flu shot at the same time as the H1N1 flu vaccination?
It is possible to receive the standard flu shot at the same time as the H1N1, that's the injectable. But if you receive the live attenuated virus, as far as the nasal spray is concerned, then you need to wait 30 days for that second shot to be given.
Okay. So if you get the flu, if you get the spray, you have to wait 28 days between the two shots.
That is correct.
Dr. Thomas Gaiter, thanks very much. And again, you can send us your swine flu questions. Just email us at today@nbcwashington.com. And of course, you can also post them on Twitter and Facebook. Just search News 4 Today. And the doctor's going to join us again at 6:45. Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you, Joe.
Barbara? Maybe they're operating that. Ahead on News 4 Today. You have questions, we're getting answers for you.
We'll check in with the doctor to tell you everything you need to know about the swine flu vaccine.
6:44 now, 62 degrees. Next on News 4 Today, a house call.
We have a doctor in the house answering all of your swine flu questions. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This morning the doctor is in and he's answering your swine flu questions. Once again, we're joined by Dr. Thomas Gaiter, the medical director for Howard University Hospital. Again, thank you for coming in this early in the morning.
Thank you, Bob.
You can email your swine flu questions to today@nbcwashington.com, or you can also post them on Facebook and Twitter. Just search News 4 Today, and that's one word. We've had quite a response opening up the phones for questions. Let's get to our questions right away. I already had swine flu. Do I need to get the vaccine?
Well, if you've actually had a diagnosis of the swine flu, I mean it's been actually diagnosed, then in theory you would not need the vaccine because of the immunity that you build up, just like any other disease entity that you may have.
But if there's any question about whether it's swine flu or regular flu, you should have the swine flu shot.
You should.
Okay. Here's another one. How are the symptoms different between regular and swine flu? How do I know if I have the swine flu and not the regular flu? And is the treatment, once you have it, different for either one or for
The
each?
symptoms are quite similar. I mean, it's hard to tell the difference between one and the other. Both are influenza A, so the symptoms are pretty much the same. Occasionally, the swine flu may have some GI symptoms as well, such as nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, but actually the symptoms are the same. As far as the treatment is concerned, the treatment is also quite similar as well.
So once you have it, A flu, should you go out and have it tested to see if that's the swine flu, so you know?
Well, most people with seasonal flu as well as H1N1 will have just mild symptoms. The majority of people will have mild symptoms, but there are a group of individuals who will have a devastating effect. And I think that's something that I just like to say about it is that, you know, we are seeing younger people who are really having a tough time with this disease. That's why they're in the high priority category. And so we just like for people to be aware of and be sensitized to this. And that's one good thing about this show. I mean, it's allowing people to understand what's going on. If I could say one other high priority group, which is the pregnancy, women and pregnancy. I mean, very devastating disease. Most people are not aware that we've had upwards to 30 pregnant women who have died and over 100 who have been in intensive care. Those statistics are startling. So we need to sensitize. They should be in the
high priority group. One more question. I have asthma and had pneumonia last year. Should I wait until the inactive swine flu shot comes out and not get the flu mist?
You should perhaps wait because this is a live attenuated nasal spray. So if one wishes to be safe, I mean, go ahead and look at the injectable one, and that is the recommendation.
Well, we want to thank everybody who wrote to us one way or another today with their questions. And we'd also like to thank you, Dr. Gaiter, for coming in again. And you've been wonderful to come when we've called.
Thank you, Bob.
So the response was tremendous, and we tried to get to as many questions as we could. We might have to have you come back again.
Okay.
A new push this morning to offer more help to those fighting for their homes, Joe.